Later in this course, we'll be building this application where a user can search for an artist or a song and they displayed as a grid. So for example, if we type in a artist inside of here, just like this, and then hit search, we're then presented with a list of songs with also an audio player to play a preview of these. We'll build this later in the API section. We have the album artwork, the artist, song title, and this music player at the bottom, which will play the first 29 seconds. All of this music information will be provided by connecting to iTunes using an API. If you are not sure what an API is just yet, don't worry about it, we'll cover all you need to know later on. But we're going to get started on this application by creating the HTML and CSS we need, including the CSS grid layout. Then we can add the functionality in a later section. We're going to do this a little differently to other practice exercises. I'm going to go through this project setup and also the HTML code together with you now. This is so we have the same HTML, meaning we can do the same things when we add the JavaScript later, so there's no confusion. Then I will leave you to go ahead and complete the project's CSS by yourself to give you some extra practice at applying the grid properties. Let's begin by creating the project folder. So let's close this down and then create a project folder. And again, you can add this anywhere. I'm going to call mine the Song Finder. Open this up in the text editor. So drag this project folder into there. And then we can go ahead and create a new file called the index.html. Okay, so to begin, let's add the HTML structure, and I'm going to be using the HTML5 shortcut, and then hit tab to give us our structure. The document title of Song Finder, and then down to the body section. Let's begin with the header area, and then a site title in H1 of Song Finder. Let's open this up inside the browser and check everything is working okay. There we go, so there's our site title in the index page. Then we need an input area to type in the song name of the artist. So let's start with a label and let's call this the search input. And then the text of search for your favorite artist. And then close this label off at the end. Under here we can also add our input with the type of text. And then the ID which matches this search input. Okay, good. Then after this we need a button, and this is going to be the button which goes ahead and completes our search. So just add a simple button into there, and then a horizontal line at the very bottom, just to section off this header. Reload and see how this is looking. Okay, good. So there's our label, our text box, and the button. Scrolling down below this header section, let's create the main section. And this is going to be the area where all of our songs appear. For now, let's give this an ID of songs. And then inside here, we can add an article. This article is going to be the wrapper for each one of the individual songs. So each individual song needs an image. For now, I'm just going to add some dummy or some sample data just to see how it will look on the screen. So we can go ahead and style this with the CSS. All this text and images will be replaced later with some data which we pull from iTunes. So we can see this image, I'm going to add a width of 100 pixels, a height of 100 pixels too, and then add a style property just so we can see this image. So background of blue. And now we should see a blue square on the screen. Next we can add the p tags, and this is going to be for our artist name. So any artist and song is fine, so just add anything inside of here. Then a second set of p elements for the song name. Then finally we're going to look at a new element which we've not seen yet, and this is the HTML5 audio element. This will allow us to play our music inside the browser. It needs a source attribute, which we can leave empty for now, and also the text of controls, which will give us some controls to work with, such as our play, which also turns into a pause, the timer, and also the progress bar. Good, so now let's copy this article and paste it in so we have 6 of them. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then save and then reload. And now we have 6 different items on the screen. So remember, this HTML is just placeholder text and images. All of this data will be pulled in later from our API. For now though, I will leave it with you to create and link an external style sheet, apply some styling, and also a grid layout to these songs. There is no right or wrong way to do this, just style however you like, but I would recommend at least applying the grid. It doesn't need to be anything complex, just a simple grid with 3 columns and a grid gap will be fine. So good luck, and I will see you in the next section.